You're about to listen to a Metal Express Radio exclusive interview. Head on over to metalexpressradio.com for our latest rock and metal interviews. And while you're there, check out our web radio, read our reviews, and rock and metal news. Enjoy the interview.
Hi, this is Mick Burgess, and I'm now backstage at the O2 Academy in Newcastle. And I'm joined today by Ahren Stringer from the Amity Affliction. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Great. You're partway through your UK tour. How have the shows been going so far?
They've been great. We started off in Germany, and that show was a great way to kick up the tour. It was, I think, a 500 cap sold out, and we've never really, done much in Germany, so that was pretty good. And then, the UK shows have been great as well. Like it's I guess. We haven't ever done a UK headline tour, so it's interesting to see, what we're worth out here.
Yeah, I was going to say that the German crowd's got quite a reputation for being quite hardcore metal guys,
very
aren't they?
rowdy, yeah. Lots of energy.
Yeah, because you were over here supporting We Are Ocean in 2009, so like you said, this is your first headliner. How have you noticed, has there been much of a difference in the...
huge difference in the crowd response. We've released 2 albums since then. That was our first overseas tour ever, was with We Are the Ocean. So compared to that to now, it's been a huge change in our popularity here, and I guess because we haven't been here for 3 years or something, it's kind of I know kids are stoked to see us finally and play a long set rather than supporting other bands.
Getting quite good coverage on Kerrang and the cable stations over here as well.
Yeah, cool.
So that's all helping raise the profile.
There you go.
And you've got a great package as well with Hearts Awake, in Hearts Awake and Landscapes during the tour. Whose idea was it to put those guys on the...
Well, we are all big fans of Landscapes, and they put that new record out. We loved it, so we thought we'd try and get them on a show and on a tour. And they agreed to it, so that was great. And they all turned out to be lovely dudes. And In Hearts Wake are a band, fellow Australian band from Byron Bay, so we kind of just know them by default and stuff, and they're all good mates of ours. So
I was going to say, does it help having some mates from back home on the tour with you to sort of help with the homesickness? Or
I guess
are you too busy for that?
No, it's a very crowded bus, but but we're all good friends, so it helps.
When we think of Australian bands, we sort of think of hard driving, dirty barroom blues, the AC/DCs and the Rose Tattoos of this world. What were your influences when you were growing up in Australia?
I'm a huge fan of AC/DC, actually. I've got most of my tattoos are AC/DC related, to be honest. And I've just grown up listening to kind of punk rock and nothing really too Australian, to be honest. Well, back when I was much younger, I listened to Grinspoon and Powderfinger and those bigger Australian bands. But mostly just punk rock, like Pennywise and NoFX and Guttermouth. And eventually, as I got older in my teens, I started listening to heavier stuff and metal and hardcore. So I guess it's just a combination of all those.
So it's a melting pot of stuff you've been listening to over the last few years. Because with the likes of Airborne and Electric Mary sort of breaking through in this country as well, what's the scene like back in Australia at the moment for sort of hard rock and metal?
For hard rock and metal, I guess it's good for up and coming bands like Northland are getting quite big. They're from Australia. And there's us and Parkway Drive are doing very well in Australia. But I'd like to see more younger bands doing it as well. In Hearts Wake are getting there as well. But the scene's good. It's strong.
It's just getting that next step up to break out from the Australian continent.
I guess so. Yeah. It's not easy.
No. So how did you first get together? Because you were formed back at school, weren't you?
Me and Troy went to high school together, and he was actually dating my sister for a while. And he was 3 years older than me, so we kind of just, used to write songs and stuff when he would come over, and we just decided to start a band, and the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah, because the band's sort of named as sort of a tribute to one of your friends that was.
Well, we all
killed.
played in bands together. Me and Troy had separate bands kind of before that, and then we formed another band called Left Lane Ends, and then tragically the guitarist passed away, and so we kind of just thought, let's dedicate this next band to him. And the first couple of records were, the first demo and EP were about him. So paid a bit of tribute to him.
Yeah. Because you've been incredibly together almost 10 years now, more than 10 years. Does it feel like that?
I mean, I guess it's kind of flown by, but yeah, it doesn't feel like 10 years of, hard working, really. It's kind of, I guess, after, the first album kind of really, the second album actually kind of made us, take this a bit more seriously because it became our job. So I guess, up until then, it was kind of more of a serious hobby, I suppose. Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't feel like 10 years, no.
Because when a band comes up to its 10th anniversary, you think it's a major milestone. And I'm showing my age here. I remember when it was Black Sabbath's 10th anniversary,
right.
Kiss's 10th anniversary, and now I'm thinking, my goodness, they're talking about the 40th anniversary now. So
yeah.
Time's moving fast. Because you started in the band as rhythm guitarist, but then you moved on to bass. Why did you do that?
Well, because I guess I wanted to focus on singing a bit more, and I still write songs and stuff on guitar, and I still enjoy playing it, but it's much easier to play bass live. I wasn't a very good guitarist live and singing at the same time. I still haven't mastered it on bass, but yeah, it tightened up the band to get someone to focus on guitar and me to just slap away at the boring old bass.
Yeah. But it sort of helps with you doing the clean vocal and having the aggressive vocal as well. It's sort of quite a cutting combination.
Yeah.
You've just been just relatively recently signed to Roadrunner Records. How did that come about? When did you first see that they were?
Well, I guess we were trying to get on a label for a while, and we were talking with them for a long time before we finally signed. But I guess, to be honest, it was one of the only record labels that were interested in us. And after we signed, then a few other people put their hands up. But it worked out good. Finally getting records released overseas and stuff, which we never had before. So yeah, it gets the music out there.
So have you noticed the big step up with them now they're behind you?
Sure. Yeah, they definitely have helped us out a lot, and they are great to work with. So
they've got an impressive roster of acts from everybody from Slipknot up to Limit Skynyrd.
Yeah.
And Alter Bridge and Shinedown, so they're covering a lot of bases.
They are, yeah.
So your new albums come out on Roadrunner over here. How do you feel that they have taken that, helped you with that next step? Is it sort of the promotion?
I guess it's mainly the promotion, and just to be on a credible label, it kind of looks good. But and they don't put their hands into any of our work. Like if they didn't like something, it's too bad, kind of.
Yeah. So they're very hands off.
Control over anything. So that's good.
That's the best way, really.
Yeah. Like you said, just basically promotion and getting the CDs in stores.
Well, it's Chasing Ghosts hit the #1 spot in Australia. So in this day and age, for a metal band to do that's pretty incredible for anybody, really. So how did you feel when that news broke through?
I was stoked, to be honest. We beat bands like the XX and the Presets, so we're up against some heavy hitters as well. So it was good to be to know how much people care about us in Australia and heavy music in general.
Do you remember where you were when you heard? Were you all huddled around the radio for the chart countdown?
No, actually I was in Brisbane. We were ready to play a show the next day, but I was just stoked. Cracked out a few beers and had a celebration. I bet they
added a few more bums on the seats for the show as well the following night.
Definitely, yeah.
So do you feel this is sort of vindication for all the work you've done for the last 10 years? You've finally reached that
I'd say so, yeah. It's finally a bit of fruit from your labour. Definitely a milestone, and probably the best thing I've ever done.
Did you have the sort of support from your parents when you were starting out, or did they want you to go and get a proper job?
Well, I did have a proper job. Not a proper job, but I was scaffolding, full time, except for when I'd have to go on tour. But they were always supportive. Like I think they're kind of blown away that it's actually gotten us this far. Though, like they're very proud. So it's good.
That's great. Yeah. So Chase, how's Chasing Ghosts been a progression from your previous album Youngbloods, which came out a couple of years earlier?
What, musically?
Yeah.
I guess it's just, we've tried to perfect our craft, I guess, and just not tried to, stray too far away from the path of what we've always been doing. I guess just trying to perfect, make it a better record each time, but without, letting the fans down and trying something, crazy and out there. So we're just trying to keep it keep it real and what we've always done, but just better each time.
Yeah. So what sort of lyrical themes are you exploring on this album this time?
Well, Joel actually writes all the lyrics, but I think it might be much of the same. He hasn't really written too many songs yet, but we've got a few things in the works. But yeah,
because there was a bit of controversy over the album cover, wasn't there?
So
what was the story behind that?
I don't know. I guess people just got their knickers in a twist a bit too early, but I mean, if anyone knows what our lyrics are about and what we're about, then they wouldn't have bothered, you know.
It's more of a positive message to
exactly, but it's a kind of provocative image to, you know, spark, you know, that kind of thought, because people, you know, just sweep all that sort of thing under the rug usually. But I mean, it's a pretty big issue, especially with, you know, the teens and youth of today, so I think it needs to be explored a bit more.
And not swept under the carpet.
Exactly,
brought out in the open. Yeah, because the album was recorded over in Florida, which is, you know, if I'm going to pick somewhere to record an album, that'd be one of the first places.
Yeah, well, it was extremely hot, but I guess it just happened because that's where the producer was.
Michael Basket.
Yeah. But we did want to go originally back to Machine, but he was busy doing Crossfaith, so it was the next best option.
Well, you can't grumble at that. I mean, he's got quite a record again from Alter Bridge, Stone Temple Pilots, even Rat. Even Rat. So what did Michael bring to the recording process that maybe you didn't have before?
I mean, just a few, you know, little ideas here and there, a few, you know, vocal harmonies and stuff. But to be honest, we went in there with like a pretty much finished record.
So we had quite an easy job then.
He did have a very easy job, and he didn't even mix it because you know, we weren't happy with some of his mixes, so we had to get Will Putney to do it. So I think it all worked out well though.
Because Imran left, was that during the recording or just after it had been
just
recorded?
After the recording, yeah.
So what happened there? Did you just decide to go on to something
I guess just, you know, didn't kind of click with the rest of the guys. It wasn't on bad terms or anything, but just it just wasn't there, you know.
So is Dan Brown, is he the permanent replacement now, or is he just a touring member?
No, he's a permanent replacement there. He's officially in the band.
So where did you come across him?
I guess we've just, you know, known him through other bands. He used to play in Confession and 50 Lions, so, you know, we'd always been, you know, mutual friends, and I guess he was the go-to guy. You know, he had the gear, he's got a great musical mind, and he was a perfect fit.
Because your latest single, Born to Die, is a cover of the Lana Del Rey classic. What made you decide to cover that one?
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Lana Del Rey, and
lovely voice.
Yeah, really she's amazing. And I just heard that song and I thought, Jesus, that would be really easy to cover. I think it would go down well, especially because we, you know, similar chord progressions and stuff. So tried it out and it worked. I
think what I like about it, it's not a faithful cover, it's you put your own stamp on it.
Exactly,
was it important to you to do that?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, especially because we couldn't really cover that song without, you know, making it heavy, because it would just sound like, you know, a shit version of that song. So
if you had to pick one song which you think is the greatest cover ever done, which song would you come for?
I don't know, that's a hard one. Probably not that one. I'm drawing a blank.
I know. Well, I always kick off with Van Halen, You Really Got Me, which I think is just the ultimate cover.
I didn't even know that was a cover, to be honest. There's probably many songs I didn't know they were covers of.
You've got 3 more shows left in the UK. You finish in a few days' time. Well, where do you head after that?
Then we head back home for our Australian tour, and then we've got nothing until we record in February next year.
So you're already thinking ahead to your next album?
Oh yeah, we've already started writing it. So we've got a fair few songs musically, but we're just kind of waiting for the lyrics and trying to fit them all together and stuff. So.
And you'll be starting the record and touring cycle all over again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it never ends.
Yes. Well, Ahren, it's been an absolute pleasure. I really enjoyed listening to the album, and best luck with the rest of the tour.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
You've just listened to a Metal Express Radio exclusive interview. Head on over to metalexpressradio.com for our latest rock and metal interviews. And while you're there, check out our web radio, read our reviews, and rock and metal news.